This is Jonathan Perkins of Jonathan Perkins Injury Lawyers in Connecticut. I wanted to let you know a little bit about how insurance companies tend to put a value, a number on a soft tissue injury. Really, actually, most any type of injury. The first and most important factor in terms of what they're looking at to value your claim is the size of your medical bills and really how consistently you've treated with appropriate medical providers. Now, why do they do that? You can imagine somebody walking along on a concrete sidewalk outside of a supermarket. Perhaps they've removed a bicycle rack from the sidewalk the week before, and they haven't yet gotten around to taking out the bolts that were holding that rack in place, and they're sticking out maybe an inch out of the sidewalk. Person walking along trips on that and injures his foot. Maybe he goes in an ambulance to a hospital and may have perhaps $500 in medical bills. If that person gets no further treatment and makes a personal injury claim, perhaps against the owner of that strip mall, the insurance company for that strip mall owner is not going to look at that claim as being a large claim. Why? Because the person has only $500 in medical bills and did not treat beyond going to the hospital. So that's the first thing they look at very, very often to determine the value of a claim. Now imagine that same fellow tripped over that bolt in the ground and perhaps developed an injury to his leg that led to an infection, and it got worse and complicated, and ultimately he had to have part of his leg amputated. Now it may be that that person, by the time he's done treating, has $250,000, $250,000 in medical bills. That's not unusual for that type of an injury. When that insurance company looks at that claim, and the first thing they're going to see is large medical bills of that nature, they're going to say that's a big claim. So it's not so much even that they necessarily look right away at the injury, although that is a factor, but how large are the medical bills is often a major factor, particularly when you're talking about soft tissue injuries. Soft tissue injuries are those where there's no objective finding. We don't see a leg that's been amputated. We don't see broken bones. We don't see discs in the back that are out of place. But the person is complaining of pain, and that is what we call a soft tissue injury. And very often that's what insurance companies are looking at, is the size of the medical bills and how consistently this person has received treatment from the appropriate types of doctors. This is Jonathan Perkins of Jonathan Perkins Injury Lawyers.